Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. In excelsis Deo.
Hello and welcome to day 17 of Vlogmas 2022. My name is Tracy and I am the host of the Knitting on the Float podcast. Today is a nice quiet Saturday. I've been trying to get myself back into those routines. I forced myself to get out of the house this morning, and I had a lovely walk with one of my neighbors and our dogs. So getting back into that routine was really nice, although it did take a little bit of pushing to get me out the door this morning. And it's been a nice quiet day so far. I'm just gonna do a little bit of basic crafting stuff. And the first thing I need to do is to remove my pieces from my Macaulay cardigan and put them somewhere safe so that I'm ready to start to mattress stitch them together. And I have got my knit block packages so that I can put the blocking pegs away, and I've also got my wires because I did use a few wires. You know what I did forget though? I need a container to put my T-pins in. That's upstairs, so I'll just have to really carefully make sure when I remove the T-pins I put them somewhere safe, and then I will make sure they are put away properly. So I'm just gonna pull off the blockers and put them back in while we just have a little bit of a chat today. Last night we went to a birthday party next door, and that was really nice to get out. We enjoyed some pizza with our neighbors, and it was a lovely evening. And again, good to get out and start to get back into the routine of things. Not that a birthday party happens every single day, but just getting out and about is always a good thing to do, especially when you're feeling tired and just out of sorts from all the jet lag and stuff like that. Today I woke up at a normal time. It was about 20 after 8, and for me that's a good time to wake up. It wasn't 5 a.m., so that was good. And I just thought it would be nice to have a quiet day, a little bit of crafting. Isaac has his show tonight. He's in a pantomime, so we will be going to see that this evening. And so I think by just going for a walk, doing a little bit of craft maintenance, getting my blocking mats free, that is a good thing to do. So here is my arm. It might be a little bit long, but you know what? I can always roll up the sleeves if I need to, but looks like it should be a good fit for my Macaulay cardigan. So one arm off the mats. Now this one is all pinned with wires, so I'm going to need to be really super careful, as I mentioned, to get the pins put somewhere that they don't end up falling on the floor and going in someone's foot, because any pin is bad enough going into a foot, but a T-pin, oh, I know. Did you all just shiver like I did? Anyway, so just doing the unblocking. It's always so nice to see those unblocked pieces. And the reason that I'm finally getting to this is because I have another piece, I need to block. So that means I have a finished object. I only need one of my boards for that, and I'll use the blocking pegs likely. So here is, I don't know if this is I guess this is the left front. We'll pull out the blocking wires, being careful not to poke self in eye. So there is another blocked piece, and my blocking wires. I love these. I got them at the Purple Pearl in Toronto. Unfortunately, the Purple Pearl closed a few years ago, but I never seem to not have enough of these, which is great. Oftentimes I've got 2 sets of these, and there's oftentimes I wish I had another set, but these I always seem to have always enough wires. And then I have this last one with pins and wires, so we'll pull that off. And today when I went for a walk, I noticed that the house that went by the other day that I filmed is moored just down at a marina. It's not being hooked up because it's not a marina like ours where we have sewer and electricity. It's just being moored there for storage for now, and while the man looks for a water lot. So maybe in the epilogue I'll take you down so you can see it against the shore. I didn't realize it had a red roof on it, but it does. Okay, 2 more wires out and another piece blocked. And then I have to get brave and actually start sewing these pieces together. The great thing about this pieced cardigan is there are only 5 pieces, so we are now a little more than halfway through taking these off of the mats. And then once I'm finished, I'll just have to take this up. Now I did double my mats so that I could move the boards around. I mentioned that I used to use Isaac's bed as my blocking mats, or I put my blocking mats on Isaac's bed and then I would block there, but because he is living back at home and not away at school, I need to find other solutions. So I had a lot of fun. I don't know if I can use that word, a lot of fun really. When I had to block my anthology shawl, it was so huge. It took up a really huge chunk of our loft, and I had to make sure that no boys or pets went near the anthology because it was stretched out. So they had lots of warnings that stay away, stay away. I really love these pegs, but I have to tell you, I don't love putting them away. I find it really fiddly. And I want them all lined up perfectly, and when they don't line up perfectly, it kind of bugs me. But otherwise, blocking pegs are fantastic. So there is 1 container filled back up, put the lid on. They are sharp, so you have to just be really super careful with them. And then the other one is empty. There are, in each box, 12 of these small ones. Sorry, 8 of the small ones. There's 4 pairs of 2 is how they go in, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So 8 of the small and 12 of the larger size. And I do like both sizes. Sometimes the larger size are exactly what I need, and other times the smaller size are perfect. So it is great that they are mixed. And although maybe it would be good to have a box that was solely small or solely large, but it's probably better not to do that, because sometimes you've got curves in the project and those small ones are perfect for that. I have been enjoying the tree, so I'm glad that I got that set up yesterday. And I've actually plugged it into the bottom outlet so that I don't have to have all of the lights on right now. But I was showing my neighbors and they thought it looked lovely. And of course the boys think it looks nice too. So nice to have a little bit of Christmas spirit starting to fill our home. So I now have the 2 mats free and the back of my Macaulay sweater all blocked out, and I've got one more sleeve to get off of the mats, and then I'm going to share with you my latest finished object, which I actually cast off yesterday before decorating the house, but I forgot to share it with you, so that'll be a good thing to share today. And now I've got all the big ones in. It's just the little ones, which those are the ones I find the most fiddly to put back in the container, just because they need to be right against the edges so that you can fit the other ones on the other side. But again, these are fantastic. I just find putting them back in a bit annoying, but would I trade them? No, I wouldn't. It's definitely a lot quicker to block with these, especially if you're working with a really big shawl. So I have appreciated having these 2 sets. Sometimes I think maybe I should get a third, but most of the time 2 is enough. So all my blocks are now free, and there is my other sleeve. So now I'll just fold these up nicely so that they don't get wrinkled, and then when I am ready, I can start sewing these together and making my Macaulay look like a cardigan. Now, I mentioned I have a finished object. I do need to sew in some loose ends, but my second oddments cowl is now off the needles. I am missing 2 of the repeats, and of course, as I mentioned, I need to sew in my ends and then I need to block it, but now that these babies are free, I'm good to go. So a little bit different than the first, where the first one had the same color at the cuff at both ends. I would not have had enough yarn to do this. And where is my, here it is here. I shared with you that I had about 2 ounces of yarn of both Ghost and Sea Storm, and I had a little bit more of the Dewdrop left, but each of these skeins started off with 50 grams. I made 2 oddments cowls. I'm really pleased with how I was able to use this very, very precious Viola cashmere silk yarn. Anyway, I think that now that I have taken my Macaulay off of the blocking mats and I have shared my oddments, which is going to go onto the blocking mats, this would be a really nice gift for Christmas. So I am going to call it a day, and I am hoping that you are having a lovely day wherever you are. I hope it's a nice relaxing one for you. I'm going to do a little bit of crafting. Maybe I will work on my goose eggs blanket for a little bit. Do I dare start putting my Macaulay together? I probably should, but I probably won't. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow for day 18 of Vlogmas. Have a good one. Bye.
In excelsis Deo, Gloria, in excelsis Deo.
Is it actually a day if I haven't shown you what the river looks like? I don't think so. So, well, for the most part, it is a very peaceful day on the Fraser. My neighbor is power washing, so there is a bit of noise in the background, but her dock looks amazing. Anyway, in the distance, you can see there is a house with a red roof, and that was the house that we saw being tugged down the river the other day, and it is now moored in place. So, or at least in its temporary home until it finds a lot where it can get connected. Anyway, I am going to go home and edit, and I just wanted to share with you a little bit of a river view and a follow-up of what became of the house that got towed down the river.